Hey, it's Sam of Majestic Unicorn Tutoring, and this is Reading Rescue Thursday. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some of my very favorite games to play with spelling words. It took me a really long time to learn different spellings of words, and I wasn't that great at it until I took a linguistics class in college, and he sort of broke everything down into small pieces. So I do believe that it does work for some kids, not all kids. And there's a lot of great researches on phonemes and teaching phonemes first. If you'd like me to dive into that in another video, please leave a comment down below. But let's go ahead and begin with one of my favorite throwback games, the fortune teller. Where are all my millennials and Gen Xers out there? If you want an excuse to teach your kids or to work on a cootie catcher or fortune teller, as we used to call them, this is your big chance to do it, and to do it for learning. So in order to make a cootie catcher, what you do is you fold your paper into a square like this. You take the corner and you fold it, and then you can cut off the excess at the top. Or you can fold it and tear it. All right, then what you want to do is you can fold the paper down. So it's kind of looking like a kite in the middle. You got your little lines in the middle of your diamond. All right, once you've got that going, you're going to fold each corner into the center like this. You're going to do that all around each edge. You guys remember making these? These were like the most fun until you got them confiscated at school. But hey, these can be for learning now. So super cool. Love it. Fold them up in the corners. Okay, once you've got it like this, you want to flip it over and you want to fold each corner into the corners again. So it should look like this. Do that on all sides. Now this will hold 12 spelling words on it, so you can get practice with 12 different spelling words. If you have more words than 12, you can always make 2 of these guys, and you can do it that way. So once you have these things folded in here, like this on this side and this on this side, you can kind of start pulling out, you can start pulling out these little tabs right here. So it'll be like this. Sometimes I have to fold it the other way like that again, like I didn't make a deep enough fold, and then I can pop them out a little easier. Do you remember these guys? So now you put your spelling words on the 4 flaps in there, and then on these flaps here, and then I love to make really fun little fortunes on the inside, so I will just go ahead and do mine and give you guys a little example of what that looks like. I'll be right back. All right, so I went ahead and filled mine out with just a random spelling list I found in the Words Their Way text, reviewing the long vowel sounds of A, I, E, A, E, E, and O, A. So here's kind of what it looks like. So you'll have some spelling words in here, and then when you open these guys up, you will have the spelling words here, and then your fortunes on the inside. I like to do really fun, positive ones, and I love to use a lot of color because who doesn't love a lot of color? Here's how it works. You first ask someone to pick a word. So let's say, for example, they pick the word toast. So T. So for each letter in the word toast, you're going to move the little guy. So T-O-A-S-T-E. And then you've got these inside words. So let's say I pick the word male. So M-A-I-L. And then you pick your last word, and that's what your fortune's underneath. So I'm just going to pick the word cheek. So my fortune says you're going to ace the spelling test. So that's kind of how these work, and they're a great way to get your kiddos spelling and interacting and having fun with creating something with their hands, which is really cool. The second spelling game that I really love is called Spelling Word Catcher. And what you do is you use a fly swatter. You can kind of cut this down to make it smaller. I think that makes a little more sense. This is just the one I use at home, so I'm not going to do that. And you take any kind of book or anything you're reading, or if you're outside, you can maybe go on like a little scavenger hunt. And each time the student or your kiddo finds one of their spelling words, let's say their word is answer, they can actually take the fly swatter and swat that word. Another really cool way to use this word, if you don't think all the words are going to come up organically in a book that you're reading, is you can write each word on a note card and you can put them around your house or just on one big wall, tape them up, or just on the floor. A family member or two students face you, you say the spelling word, and they have to turn around and slap that word as fast as they can. So just making sure that you do set the rule of they are not slapping each other with the fly swatters, they are slapping the words. And I think that one's really fun. And when I do tutoring, I think it's a really great way for me to involve the families into the games as well. The next thing I'm going to talk about is building your spelling words with letters. You can use ABC blocks for this. You can use magnetic letters. You can use Scrabble tiles or bananagrams tiles. By the way, bananagrams also a really fun game to do for spelling or just increasing student spelling. So for example, you can ask your student to spell the word foul, F-O-U-L, or the ever popular foul. You know, they like to do a lot of those words that sound the same that are spelled differently spelling lists. I think that works great for that because you can visually see the letters changing out and how that O, U, and OW sound are the same sound in the English language. As we all know, the English language can be very fun and complicated. So the next spelling game I'm going to talk about today is the very classic Hangman. Most of you have probably played it before, but let me demonstrate. So the first thing you do is set up your little gallows here, and then you give blanks for what the word might be. You have the child or students guess letters at each time. So let's say E, let's say R is not in the word, you draw the head. For each wrong letter they give, you put a different piece of the stick figure on the map here. So it goes head, body, arm, leg, and then they're trying to figure out that word. So let's say they guess A, which is correct. MD, made. So that's a really fun way that you can mix up doing the spelling words, and anyone can really play this game. It's a good way to get them familiar with the words. Another really fun thing you can do is you can make and print out, if you have those capabilities, spelling crosswords and spelling word searches. You can make those online and then you can print those out with your students' spelling words on there. I will link in the description box below where you can print those out and create those from. So you can make those if you'd like to at home or in your classroom. Another great activity you can do is you can use the spelling words to make a very silly story. Or what I also like to do is do MadLibs and only use your spelling list to fill in ad-libs. Bonus points because you're also reviewing parts of speech when you do it that way. So, but for example, making a silly story, you would say something like, the man in the smooth suit, so I got smooth and suit there, used his broom to fly to the moon. Then he would build a spoon. Build spoon as his trust blooms. So we just use all the words in our spelling list to make a really silly story at the bottom. Another one that works for some spelling lists but not always is doing a charades type of thing. So you'd put all the spelling words into a bowl and then you would take turns pulling out one of the spelling words, and you'd have to act it out without using any words, that spelling word, and practice that and have your kids guess it. So a lot of these are just about familiarizing your student or your child with their spelling list. And it's a good way for them to hold what the position of those letters are in. The very last thing you can do, and this one is a good thing to get them started, like when they first get their list on like Monday or Tuesday, have them write their words in alphabetical order. Not only is that reviewing alphabetical order, but it's also having them write them out without it being the normal like copy your words 3 times in a row that most of us kind of grew up on. These are really fun things. There's also tons of other things, like you can turn your spelling words into go fish. So if this is my spelling word, I'm going to write moon and moon on 2 different index cards, trust, and then we play Go Fish using our spelling words instead of playing cards. A bonus game for classroom teachers or people who are in big families is to play the game Sparkle. And how this one works is you have your spelling list and one person is kind of acts as the teacher in this turn, and you say the first spelling word. So for example, if the first spelling word is bloom, then you would say bloom, and the first person says B, the second person says L, the next person says O-M, the last person at the end of the word says sparkle, and the next person has to sit down. Other ways you can sit down is if you guess the letter wrong, or you're like, I don't know, I don't know what the next word is. You can choose to sit down, and that way, this one's a whole lot of fun. Obviously, the objective is to be the last person standing, and it's a little bit of knowing your words and a little bit of luck too. And I think it's a really good way to get kids in that success mindset because they don't know how to spell they don't have to know how to spell the whole word right off the bat, but it does kind of get them up and competitive and really interested in the game. That's a really great one for classroom teachers, or like I said, if you're in a bigger family or if you want to get together with a group of friends and do this on your own, this is a really cool one too. So I hope these games are something that can get you and your students excited for learning their spelling lists. If you like these tips and you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We at Majestic Unicorn would really love to answer any questions you have, so go ahead and leave a comment below if you have any other spelling, reading, writing questions, math questions, whatever you have questions on. I'd love to make a video about those things. Remember, getting help is much easier than you think. If you'd like information about our tutoring services, you can go ahead and email us at info@majesticunicorn.com. Your first session is always free. I will see you next time. Bye!